I call it the King Amadeus.
The King Amadeus. That's how,
on the road, yeah.
the King, aka the King Amadeus.
Yeah, I had so when we did the Love Heart tour, we could add this to the joint because I never talked about it. When we did the Love Heart tour this year, it was no last year. It was Trey, Keisha Cole, K. Michelle, and Jaheim.
Okay.
And Bree would always ship me cases on the road.
Okay.
And I was introducing everybody to that shit.
Oh really?
And they were losing their minds.
The
and I was like, tread light now, because they think it tastes good.
Yeah.
So they think it's like, they be like easy.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
Really? I gotta taste.
No, it's legendary.
I don't think
It's
I've
legendary.
had it.
This is my favorite.
Yo, what up? It's your girl V-Henny, man. You already know the vibes. Welcome to the Artistry, where we talk shit about music, entertainment, and the everyday struggles. And you know how we do, man. We always have a dope guest in the building. We have multi-platinum producer, mogul, author, Dr. Antoine Amadeus Thompson.
And the crowd goes wild. We here.
Yeah, we here.
We here.
Yo, before anything, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been so. I was saying off air. The last time we did like an interview, it was virtually.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Wow.
4 years ago.
Wow.
And I was just yesterday. I was like, I wanted to make sure. I was like, yo, I don't want to repeat questions and etc.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the date, I was like, no way. So
Wow.
4 years ago, there's a lot you've accomplished,
Thank you.
overcame. And honestly, it's very inspiring. So thank you for taking the time being here. This is to you. Congratulations.
Absolutely. And before we cheers, I have to celebrate you.
Oh, thank you.
And your journey. You've come a long way. You've been working really, really hard. We talked off air about all of the amazing things that you've done. You know, and we're here. And like you said, we've overcome some very heavy moments. You know, we've been in touch and contact, and you've definitely always been genuine and real and honest. So congrats to you. Congrats to us. 222-225, 2020-25. You heard?
Baby, right here to
cheers.
Got some Billy on here.
Yes.
Let's do this. AKA King Amadeus.
You heard?
Oh, this is dangerous.
It's crazy, right?
This is dangerous.
Yeah, it's a mix of the bumble cream and the Vion, and you mix that. I usually pour heavy on the bumble cream, and then drop a little bit of the Vion in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I usually do.
This is I have to be careful with this because I feel like this whole thing will have me like yeah.
Let's sip wisely throughout the conversation so it doesn't, throw us off course. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, definitely. Speaking of of the fact of like overcoming and your accomplishments and stuff like that, right? So congratulations on being inducted into the into the Walk of Fame.
Yes. Thank you.
So I found that when like watching your social media and everything, like the fact of coming from the Bronx and being inducted to the Bronx Walk of Fame, like
legendary, man.
What was your initial because I'm like, I know it's legendary. But when you first found out, what was your initial, like, what are your emotions? What are you going through? Like,
love this question because when I first got the email, I thought they were inviting me to attend the event.
Okay.
To see others get inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame, right? So when I opened up the email, I was on a tour bus. We was on tour. We was on a Love Heart tour with Trey Songz, Keisha Cole, Jaheim, and K. Michelle. So we was on a tour bus with my band members.
Okay.
So I opened up the email. I'm reading the email. I was a little confused by the email, right? So my brother Ricky, my bandmate, is on the bus. And I'm like, can you read this email and make sure I'm not bugging? I think I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Okay.
But let me get another pair of eyes on this. So I give him my phone and he's reading it and I'm watching him as he's reading it and he's like, we call each other Bloco. He was like, Bloco, this is it, bro. I'm like, what you mean?
Yo.
He's like, yo, you getting the street side, man. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, right. So we're on a bus. And a lot of the other band members and it was like a long distance drive. So a lot of them flew.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm gonna take the bus, just relax, enjoy the scenery, take some time, to myself. So I was just chilling, right? it didn't really settle in. It didn't really set in.
Okay.
Quick. Got to the next destination. Stood there overnight. I'm sitting on a chair just like this in my hotel room, just like this, watching the game, and I'm just silent because nothing was really registering. Right.
Okay.
A whole nother day go by. We got a show. I think we were in Oakland, and it hit.
That's when it hit.
And it hit, and I started. I'm very emotional, so I started shedding tears, happy tears, of course.
Okay.
Started shedding tears and really took in the moment of like, bro, your name is going to be on the Grand Concourse for eternity. And, and then they sent me information on it, and I didn't know Luther Vandross is from the Bronx, and he went to Taft High School. So Luther Vandross is up there. A lot of my heroes, Swiss Beats, Fat Joe, Remy Ma, Funkmaster Flex, like, so many icons and Bronx legends, actors, actresses, assemblymen and women, just amazing. So I appreciate you asking about that. I'm still in awe. I pull up. I pull up in the summer almost every week, and I'll just sit there and just look at the sign. Dope. People walking by having no idea.
Right.
That's me. Shout out to the Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson. She's come out of, because her office is there.
Okay.
She's come out of ending of the day, and I'm just sitting there, and she's like, "Amadeus, what are you doing here?" I'm like, just chilling with my sign. And she's like, "I love that for you." So thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
I mean, you
I think I should drink to that.
Let's definitely drink to that, because that's like, you worked so hard.
Mm-hmm. And again, you don't expect any accolades. You don't expect any awards, or you do what you do from your heart. And you know me for a long time. It all started with the music.
Right.
So the fact that it started with the music and has branched out into all of these other areas in life, musicianship and author and motivational speaker and visiting schools all around the world, especially our borough, the Bronx, and all of New York City. So I didn't know all of that, was going to happen, but it just goes to show you, when you are able to use all of the gifts and the talents God has blessed you with, you'll be surprised of where that'll take you.
Right. And it's crazy, because you've mentioned in a previous interview how, and I love this, that you said, I didn't sit back and watch God work. I put in the work. So I guess for me is, can you share more about what that looks like for you?
Yeah, because oftentimes we all can feel like God is a genie.
Right.
We put our hands together, we say our prayers, and then we just expect things to happen, which is not a bad thing, because we want to have faith and we want to believe that what we pray and when we ask God for, that he will deliver, which he does, not on our time, but in his time, right?
Right.
But the key thing for people to realize is, like, yes, say your prayers, have faith and believe, but make sure that you're doing your job. Your job is to work.
Right.
Your job is to hustle. Like, for instance, if you wanted to have this amazing podcast you couldn't just sit back and say, all right, God, you know what the vision is, you know what I want to do, snap. No, you have to get the equipment. You have to find a location. Right. You have to reach out to people that you respect and admire to be a guest on your show. You have to show up.
Right.
You have to, obviously put out great content. You have to travel. You have to get here. So a lot of times, again, people don't want to put in the work. So, faith without works is dead.
What's your intake on that, on instant gratification? Like, looking at social media, where's that today, right? Compared to like the era where you was super young, you understand? And you had to put in the work.
Yeah.
And I feel like now is like, it's more, I do believe you still have to put in the work, but the perception that's out there is,
I agree,
instant gratification.
I agree.
Where you have entitlements and etc. So what's your perception on that?
Man, so many thoughts and ideas, because like you said, I've been in music for over 25 plus years, where the internet didn't exist, where you had to really be outside. They say they outside, but they're not really outside. You had to be outside. I had cassette tapes and CDs with my beats on it, waiting for artists to leave the office or the studio or en route. And I would always have cassette tapes and beat cassette tapes and beat CDs in my whip. just in case I pull up on a Hove or I'll pull up on whomever that could be, moving. So when you fast forward to today, I do love the technology that exists. I do love the platforms that exist because obviously we all take full advantage of it. But like you said, it removes, and I call it people shooting in the gym. The access, the accessibility, and where technology is, people don't want to really take the time to nurture their gift.
Right.
And I was just saying, I was at the Bronx Dance Academy School yesterday speaking to an amazing group of students, and I was saying a young lady mentioned about her wanting to be an artist and wanting to write and record. She skipped the whole process in regards to like developing.
Okay.
It was just like, I'm going to write a song and I'm going to release it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. And I was like, whoa.
Right.
You got to shoot in the gym. I was like, it took years of me making beats to even start to play them for my friends. Because I was like, yo, it sounds cool to me, but I know I'm not dope yet. And I want to really develop and really grow and get to a point where I feel like I have something that could compete with what's out there, that I can start letting the world and people hear my music. So that part is, and that's why we don't have as much quality. We have quantity, but we don't have as much quality.
Do you think that's, see how you was just like, whoa, chill, right? But now, and I get it because I'm looking at artist development, right? And I'm super big on artist development. However, you have the younger ones, the youth, where they're looking at it where like, oh, the old heads or the unks are hating.
Man. See, because I appreciate it all. I actually rock to some of what's out. Right. Not everything, of course, and just like I don't rock with everything from our culture and from our time. I didn't love every artist that was out. I didn't love every album that may have been considered a classic album. So it's not a sense of hate; it's more a sense of preference.
Right.
That's like, right here we at Bel Air headquarters. You might want V-Henny, you might like Bumble Cream. Someone else might like, the Blue Bottle. You know what I'm saying? Or the Violet. You know what I'm saying? So the gin, we all have our preference.
Right.
And you have the right to choose what you prefer.
Right. Over your 25 years journey, how has your understanding of music and your creative process evolved?
Whoa.
What does music mean to you now compared to when you first started?
Wow. Now that's a question. Let me just, that's a question. For y'all that's out here conducting interviews, that ain't no regular schmegular, as Cardi would say. That's a question. I got to sit back and like really bask in the ambience of this. You know what? The feeling has always been there.
Okay.
Because I've always been one to create from my heart and my soul. Whatever I've made, whatever track I've created was based off of what I felt.
Okay.
I never created tracks like with artists in mind. I'm going to go sit down and I'm going to make a bunch of joints for 50 today. I'm going to sit down and make joints for Fab. I'm going to sit down and make these records for Chris Brown. No, I sat down and made records based off of how I felt in that moment. So if I was pissed, you got that in the music. If I felt swag and I got the bling bling shirt and I'm sipping, you know what I mean? When I'm sipping, you might get a little, a little R&B joint. You might get a little club record. If I'm in my feelings and I'm in my emotions, if I'm hurt, my heart is feeling, you're gonna feel that. So I've always created music in that manner, still to this day, right? So it's just different, right? I think I want to transition to this. My why changed.
What's your why now?
Right? When I first came to it, 15 years old, deciding I wanted to be a music producer, musician, following that dream. It was based off of what I saw in Video Music Box. It was based off of what I watched, and just being a little kid from the Bronx and from the hood that had dreams and aspirations and wanted to make it out the hood because I didn't like what I saw.
Right.
So for me, it was a lifesaver, but it was also what I love and had a huge passion for, right? Not even understanding that it's a business. I just wanted to do music. I just wanted to create music. And then you transition and you grow and you put the time in and you learn like, oh no, this is a business. It's a business, and this is something that I can live off of. I can take care and provide for myself, because at that time I didn't have a family. I didn't have kids, of my own. So it was just me, and you're like, oh, this is a real business. And then you live life a little more, and then now I have our son, and he's a baby, and I'm looking at him, and now I'm making decisions based off of him, and wanting to provide for my family, and my spouse, and And then you fast forward, and now he's older, you know, and it just changes, man. People used to play around with the money back then, and you'd be like, all right, you know, you're a little kid, but now you're an adult with a family and kids. It's like, I don't play with the money, bro. This is how my son is in college right now.
Oh wow.
And I'm paying for his school, like, straight up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just changes. The heart and the love and the passion is still there, but again, I feel like the why has changed. So now it's more for, all of those things exist, but now it's survival. It's how I eat.
Right.
And I don't want to, it's different. The business is different. We don't get paid as we used to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to put them on blast, but it's out there. Like Timberland used to get 100,000, 200, 300,000 a track. Neptunes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kanye. Now you're like scrambling, and it's sad to say, to get anything. You got artists that's like, yo, can I just get the track and I just give you a shout out? And you're like, huh? Got bills, bro. Like, while you win all your jewelry and you just left the Maybach, you know, dealership, you asking me for a free track. Mind you, the beat is the whole reason why your song exists.
Right.
For you to even go and make the money that you're making. How do you not take care of the producers and the writers and the people that's behind the scenes? I know I transitioned crazy, but like,
no,
it all has to do with like the feeling.
But but it's true, right? Like when you're looking at the aspect of where like compared to back then, you guys, and I mean you guys as far as like the musicians,
right?
The producers, like you guys are not in a space of having the income that it was normalized back then.
Correct.
So it's like, so I can imagine, like you mentioned the word survival, right? Man. So it's like at one point you started realizing like, yo, this is more survival than passion.
It's a mix. It's a good, for me, it's a good blend of both.
Okay. But did you ever come to a point where you was just like, not losing it, but like maybe discouraged or, you know, and it was just like, I got to do this though. This is my survival, you know, like this is my A. That's it, you know? Yeah,
and I love that question. I would answer that by saying it's why I have to do so much.
Okay.
And it's not, and I'll remove have to. This is why I do so much. You know what I mean? It's not, we all have choices, right? So like you said, it's when you love something, you know, you're willing to do whatever it takes to do that. You know, so music is something that I would always love, regardless of how the business just changed, regardless if it's not as respected, or we as producers are not as respected as we were, it's still something that I love, you know? So when you think about Amadeus, that's why it's so many different hats. It's the producer side. It's the residency at Dre's nightclub as a drummer. It's touring with Trey Songz as his music director and tour drummer, right? Because as me having the book and me being an author, go speaking to the kids, everything has a season. So it could be a season when we're on tour heavy for a year straight, and then it could just die down. Trey could take a break. He go work on the next album. You know, maybe he want to take, you know, go on vacation. Cool, that stops. I have Las Vegas residency, so I can go there on the weekends and do what I do and play Club Dre's. Cool. You know, what if it's a slow season, which it is right now? Like I'm not booked for January. You know, so now in January, I've been heavy in all of the schools. You know, having assemblies and giving the story of Amadeus books out to the students and having these conversations. So you got to be willing and able to pivot. And that's why I say it's very important for us all to tap into all of our gifts and talents, because no matter how dope you are, how big you are, how successful you are, there are moments, and it's for everybody. Name any artist, name any athlete, you know, they can have their peak moments, and then, you know, they can get lukewarm or they can get ice cold. It doesn't take away from who they are,
right? But
now they have to earn their way back up to being hot like fire again, because you have all of these other gifted and talented people too, that deserve their time as well. No,
it's you wear many hats, and you have to. It's not that you want to. Let's correct that.
Yeah. I want to, and I'm able to, because not everybody are fearless enough to tap into, you know, their gifts and talents. Like we can just be like, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna go get a 9 to 5. Right. And make sure bi-weekly I get a guaranteed check. For us, it don't work that way.
Right.
So and I want people to really pay attention to what we're saying. Like, yes, I'm a producer, right? And I can produce all these amazing albums, but it's a process. If you're Chris Brown, I got to get the tracks to you. You got to pick out tracks that you like, right? You got to write a song or get a song written to that. You got to record that. Then you got to record all the rest of the 100 songs that you're getting from other amazing people. to then decide if you even want to use that song.
Right.
It's no guarantee that song is going to be used. You know how many songs I have with plenty of artists that's sitting in the shelf on my hard drive and on my computer?
I could imagine.
There's no guarantee. And then even if it's guaranteed, you can be waiting for the lawyers and the labels to pay you. I waited. I'm not going to blow nothing up because this is my brother. I've waited for 2 years to get compensated for one of the biggest albums I've been on in my life.
Wow.
2 years.
That's insane.
So imagine. I have a family, I have kids, I have bills, so I have to tap into it. I hate that I have to say have to, but I keep referring back to that word, so it is what it is. Because when you live your life, your responsibilities are your responsibilities.
Right.
My kids didn't ask to be here. They were created, and that's my responsibility.
Right.
And I love it. Like, out of every hat that I wear, out of every title that I have, every role, there's nothing like being a father. That is my greatest, that's my purpose. Like, because it's a certain type of love that you can't find or get anywhere else. Right. No one on this, I'll challenge anybody in the world. No one is gonna love me like my kids.
It's unconditional.
Unconditional. To them, at all times, you're super. As long as you're doing the right thing, as long as you're being the dad and the father you're supposed to be, you are forever their superhero.
Right. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can see if I relate to it because I don't have kids. However, as a daughter, like for me, my mom is like close to God.
Yes.
It's like I love that woman, and it's like so. I could imagine especially with parents who try to do their best or did their best.
And I love that. I love that you touched on that because, like, my dad, my late dad, rest in peace to my dad, Silas Thompson. He was an amazing being. And we've, because nothing in life is perfect. Right. We've had issues, but he was an amazing being. Like. What he's done for myself and my siblings and my mom and even others is legendary. You know what I mean? And we've had our moments when we didn't see eye to eye, and I'm grateful that we were able to sit down as men and for him to express himself to me and share what he shared with me. That was life-changing for me. Because like you said, we all have lived our lives and we all are raised a certain kind of way and we're taught to be a certain kind of way.
Right.
And for some, that's all we know. And because we've been taught that way, we feel like it's the right way.
Right.
Because it's how we came up.
Right.
So I'm grateful to have had that conversation with my dad and my father, who I love and admire and respect dearly. Because I wouldn't even be here.
Right. No,
if it wasn't for him. The hustle that he had, the resilience, and with me being a father today and knowing what that looks like. Now I understand and know what that looked like. Know how it is to make sure there's food on the table. Know how to make sure that Christmas happens every year. Like we had Christmas every year.
That's beautiful.
Every year, no matter what, there's Christmas. Every birthday, it was turned.
Right.
So now that I have my own son that's 19 years old, that has had a Christmas for all 19 years of his life, it's a blessing. And I got that from my dad, and I got that from seeing that and knowing that, that's my responsibility.
Right. It's like my mom, right? So my mom has this thing where it doesn't matter where we're at in life, for our birthday, we have to have a cake. And it doesn't so I remember at one point I was touring a lot, for my birthday every year, I'll go to South by Southwest, right? For my birthday.
Which I still haven't been, by the way.
I
gotta pull up with you.
Yeah, you gotta pull up.
You see how you got me here? You got me at the Bel Air joints, and man.
No, it's literally the week of my birthday.
Wow.
So I was always doing little showcases out there, and every year. And right before I would leave, my mom would be like, "No, you're having," and she doesn't like to celebrate before your birthday. So
because you're like, you gotta get there first.
Yeah. So she's more the after, but she was just like, you have to at least have this and have a cake or a cupcake, whatever.
Wow.
And I appreciate that. I learned that, and it's like I passed it over. Even in relationships, I was like, yo, it's your birthday, we gotta have a cake.
Yeah.
I remember I was super broke my first year with my wife, and I didn't have money, and it's talking phase, right? And I was broke, and I was I remember going to one of my favorite spots in Manhattan, and I bought a slice of cheesecake. And I was just like, my mom always taught us, like,
yeah, you gotta,
you know, like,
it's a staple. I actually did that. You know, my birthday just passed. It was January 30th. I turned 44, and you know, my son was working, and you know, my family was is all in different places.
Okay.
And I went right to Walmart and got me a tres leches, a big cake too. It was it was only $14. I was like, what? This cake right here, like 50. Yeah. And I went and got me a big cake, had strawberries on it. Brought it back to the crib, lit candles, and boom. You know what I'm saying? Did a little FaceTime videos of, you know, loved ones singing happy birthday to me. And because like you said, it's a must.
Yeah.
It's culture, you know what I mean? It's what we've grown up with.
Right. And so going back to like the whole trying, because again, they grew up, our parents grew up so differently. And then, you know, like we was taught whatever we was taught from them, right? But I feel like now we are responsible for where we're going moving forward. And I'm learning that now, like with dealing with a lot of things in life. And I was just like, yo, there was even toxic things that I learned in the past. I was like, I can't bring that over.
Right.
Because that's, you know, that's baggage. And so it's, you know, like at the end of the day, I will, you know, parents, you know, you can always, I will always give my mom or parents who try their best.
Absolutely.
Because it's not easy giving your best.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So definitely. You mentioned, so you had your birthday alone, you said?
Yeah, I went to the spa all day.
Okay.
I did a day pass at the spa.
Happy birthday, Aquarius?
Thank you, Aquarius. Big Aquarius season, yeah.
Okay, Pisces.
Yeah, all love. You know, I ain't the one that's gonna start no problems with the whole, yo, you know,
we coming in.
We all love. Yeah, you're on the way. But yeah, I spent the entire day at the spa, did a bunch of sauna stuff, you know, they had different pools and hot tubs, and I hit the gym while I was there. Just a really good time. You know, we're so used to, especially in the industry we're in, turning up and bottle popping. And for the first time in 8 years, I wasn't booked for Dre's in Vegas.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's different. You know, maybe everything happens for a reason though. So yeah, I was just real chilled. Had a dinner that night. And shout out to Casa Lobo. You know what I mean? Had a dinner and real quiet, real chilled. And that was it. I got some gifts. People was gifting me online. So thank you to everybody that sent me a Cash App, a Zelle, Venmo, Apple Pay. People were sending me $44 for my birthday. You know, so that's an idea for you. That's when whatever age you turn and be like, yo, whatever that is, yo, Cash App me, Zelle me. You know, people were sending me $44. If people, you know, wanted to be more, I got $50. I got $100. There was a young lady that sent me. I thought she made a mistake. There was a young lady that sent me $300.
Okay.
Was like lunch on me. I was like, what kind of lunch is that?
Right.
Because lunch for me is $10. So, and I went, and I want to share this because, you know, no one knows what I did with it, but here on your platform. So I went and got me the PS5 Portal.
Okay.
I got the cake. I bought the cake with that. Got me a little snacks. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought 2 Xbox remote controllers because I keep dropping it and breaking the trigger button. So I bought two controllers. What else did I get? Yeah, so I like to buy things so that when people, you know, they can see where their money went. Like, no, I didn't spend it on the bill, or I didn't blow it. Like, I actually went and bought things that I can remember. Like, yo, I got this, you know, on my birthday. So thank you again for everybody
that's dope. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you again. Thank you. I think that's
Yo, that's dope.
I didn't drive into the city today, so I can really indulge. You know, I'm on. I shouldn't say that because people might be looking on me. I was going to say how I got here, but I ain't going to say that. I saw Amadeus on the. That wasn't me.
He was like this.
Right.
Nah, but that's, you know. Well, again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
44. Isn't that
yes, 44.
Jackie Robinson? Right? Like,
is it?
Is it 44 or 45?
You might be right.
I think it's 44. That's his number.
Whoa, that's legendary.
Hold on, you're in the legendary.
Oh man, you didn't put me on the something special.
Let's make sure. Let's see, Jackie.
And shout out to Bree, man. Shout out to Brianna. She just hit me like, yo. Shout out to Bree, man, because I'm absolutely a part of Sovereign Brand. You know, and I've been repping Boom Boom and Vion and Bel Air for the longest. You know what I'm saying? 42. Okay, so okay. But I like where your antennas are. I like where your antennas are.
It would have been dope. I was like, yeah, so you know.
I missed it.
Yeah.
But 4-4. And you know what? You know, and it's grateful, and I appreciate you continuously wishing me a happy birthday, because obviously, you know, a lot of people haven't made it to 44.
A lot of people are.
You know, we just lost one of the most amazing visionaries and CEOs and producers and directors, and the one and only Irv Gotti. So rest in peace.
Rest in peace
to Irv Gotti, a legend in the game. You know, and for those that are not aware, because a lot of the youngins don't really be doing their homework. You know what I mean? He's the reason why we got DMX. He's the reason why we got Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd. He's produced for everybody. Mariah Carey, Jay-Z, DMX. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Like, legend in the game. So again, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. We're definitely sending love and light to the entire Gotti family. My brother Chris Gotti, all of his family, his kids, his nieces, his nephews, and you know, all of the artists that he's worked with, and everybody in the world that you know, because he's touched and created such a culture.
He really did
in music. So rest in peace, Irv Gotti.
He really, I mean, listen, he had my childhood, like he had it lit.
Let me tell you something. So legend, and again, it goes back to that fearlessness. He was fearless, yo. Like the way he spoke, the way he carried himself, the way he conducted his meetings. Like, you know, he stood on business straight up with some of the biggest execs in the world. Like, he was talking crazy to them, and they had to respect it because he was a man that was incredible, and he was dope at what he did, and he was the reason.
Right.
So it's like, what you gonna do? I know you got the bread over there. I know you got the bag, and you can make the decisions, but it's like, that's the talent. What can you do without the talent?
Right.
You need the talent, so you gotta respect the talent. So, you know, much respect to Irv, man.
It definitely, like, and you're right, like you mentioned, like a lot of people don't do their homework, you know. And it's just, again, it's going back to like the maybe entitlement or just
it's a lack of respect.
Yes,
it's a lack of respect with a side of laziness. The lack of respect with the side of laziness. And it's funny because everybody is on their phone all day. So the information is there, and this is what I get so disappointed with in the younger generation. Is like, you got all of these questions and advice you're asking me for. Mind you, everything that you need is at your fingertips, because for us, we didn't even have the internet.
Right.
So we really had to get out there and figure it out.
Absolutely.
Y'all don't have to do that. So if anything, y'all should be educating us on how to on how to do all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to use all of these platforms and edit videos, and you know, my son teach me how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give it to him. Hey, man, to make this fire. All right, cool, Dad. Done. Like, so if anything, there's always stuff to learn, you know, for us all, but it's so much that the youngins that could teach us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's about respect and not being lazy, and just wanting to know who came before you. Like, that's like, and I was at a school, Bronx Dance Academy, right? People was like, I want to be a musician, and I want to be a soccer player. I want to be an actress. So I asked a young lady, well, who's your favorite actors or favorite actresses? And she was like, I don't know. I was like, I said, you got homework.
Okay.
Your homework is to do research to find out who it is that you love on the screen. How do you become great if you're not studying the greats?
Right. You know what I tell artists too? Not only studying the greats, right? This is what I tell artists. And this is a gem right here. I tell them, like, listen, when it comes to, like, let's just say having like the whole like interview savvy, or like learning how to like communicate, etc. Right? I'm like, yo, watch. I'm like, who are your three best artists? Right? And they're like, oh, so and so. So I'm like, all right, cool. Watch their interviews. Now, what you're gonna add now is go into an interview of one of the worst artists.
Wow.
And I was like, because sometimes I learned there are some artists that are horrible, right? Like, as an artist, however, they know how to conduct within an interview. And I've seen certain, which made me like them now even more.
Because you went and watched them speak,
right?
You know.
So like, I tell them, like, oh, when you go do homework, study your greats, but also study the ones that you don't like as well. Why? Because there's a reason why they're where they're at. Yeah. So if you don't like them, see why they're where they're at. You know, maybe they have the media training. Maybe they have the personality. Whatever it is, always study the greats and study, your and I don't want to say enemy, but like, it's true. Yeah.
So you know what they doing, you know what they up to. You know what I mean? You gotta watch everybody.
It's like the art of war type of thing. Like, so it's I like that you said that, or study the greats, or study, like, I remember growing up and it was just like listening to Hot 97, and Angie Martinez was someone big for me. And I was like, yo, You understand? Like,
Yes,
I got
sir.
her book. I got her. You
Yeah.
understand? Like, you had to.
That's what it's about. And again, you're your own person. You're V-Henny.
Right.
And there's no V-Henny and there's no Angie Martinez. There's only just that one. No one else could be V-Henny. No one else could be Angie Martinez. No one else could be Amadeus. You heard?
Right.
And that's your superpower.
Right. What role do you believe personal responsibilities play in achieving one's dreams? How do you find the balance between faith and action?
She's not okay. You're not playing today.
I'm not. I told you. I was like,
give me the first one again because it's so heavy.
Okay.
Give me the first part of that question again. Wow.
What role do you believe personal responsibility plays in achieving one's dream?
Wow. It's heavy. It's heavy. Sheesh. I mean, I think it takes me back to childhood, right? Where when we first had our personal responsibilities as a kid, that like chores that our parents gave us, you know, which is in my book where we talked about on Saturdays having to clean up before you did anything, you know, and understanding the value of having a clean house or a clean home and being able to function and operate because your house is clean, and knowing in order to go over there and do what you want to do, oh, this is fire. You have to do, you do what you must do first. You do what's needed so that you can do what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important. It teaches is the word I'm looking for. Teaches motivation, it teaches drive. It's another word I'm looking for. Can't find it. There's a word I'm looking for. But consistency, persistence.
Okay.
There's one more word and it's right there and I can't find it. I'll circle back if it comes back around. Because this is a heavy question, man. But it's important. Discipline.
Oh my God. Without discipline. Listen.
Discipline. And I'm discipline to be able to go to the studio instead of going to hang out.
Right.
To go rehearse instead of hanging out with your boys or going on a date with your girl. Staying inside, focus on what work needs to be done versus partying. Discipline. And that alone separates you from everybody else that claim or says they want it, but don't necessarily have that work ethic or the discipline to absolutely get it done.
Right.
Discipline.
Listen, discipline. It's
discipline.
Discipline is beautiful, but you know, there's moments I'm like, damn you, discipline.
Man.
But discipline it's definitely beautiful. I feel like discipline and consistency definitely are like your two major factors. But you can be consistent and not have the discipline, right?
That is true.
And then it's like,
that's true.
You know, it's like insanity where you're like repeating, like doing the same thing over and over, which is consistency, right? In a sense. But when you're doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different to happen.
Which is what we do on a day-to-day basis, right? As a producer. And, you know, for those that are tuned in, we can go back and forth on this all day. I feel like no one gets turned down more than a music producer.
Why is that?
If you're an artist and I'm pitching to you, let's just say 20 tracks at a time.
Okay.
If I send you, you know, a folder of 20 tracks and you didn't pick none, I got to send you another 20. Right? And I give an example. Shout out to the game. I remember sending the game, and not at one time, like, you know, 10, 15 tracks like a here.
Beat pack.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Okay.
I remember sending game, probably totaling up to 100 and something beats. Not at one time, like, you know.
Yeah, okay.
And I hit him. I was like, yo, bro. He's like, yo, I ain't hit that one yet. What you want me to do, blood? That's what he said. And I said, all right, now I could have took it personal.
Right.
I could have got offended. I could have got upset. I could have, you know, let it get to my heart. But in that moment, I was actually finishing up, and I was burning CDs at that time to date myself.
Okay.
I was finishing up a beat CD of new beats. And I say, yo, I'm finishing up this CD right now. It's like 13, 14 joints. I'm a bounce it. I'm a finalize the CD. Damn, finalize. We'll finalize the CD, which makes it where you can play it.
Right.
And I'm gonna get you this CD. He's like, all right, cool. Send it to him. It's like 110 beats I didn't send him. Hits me. I found it, blood. And I was just like, And shout out to the game. When I heard the beat he chose, I was like, in my mind, because you know, as producers, you have your favorite joints.
Right.
And joints like, I know he's going to kill us. He absolutely did not pick any of the ones I thought he was going to pick.
Really?
And he picked some other joint, and I was just like,
really?
And he put Freddie Gibbs on it. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs. And he put Bobby Shmurda on it. Bobby Shmurda had just came out. He was on fire.
Okay.
But again, in that moment, I could have gotten my feelings. I could have been like, yo, I ain't sending no more beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, he ain't, I sent some heat. He bugging. It's like, nah, cool. I'm gonna send you this next joint. So that's what I'm saying, and that's a small idea.
Persistence.
So you know, So what I'm saying is, and from one person, I got turned down 110 times because I sent 110 beats.
Right.
That's one artist. So if I do the same thing with Chris Brown, I do the same thing with Fab, I do the same thing with Keisha Cole, T.I., Jeezy, whomever. That's the amount of times that I'm being told no. Every track that's on in that beat pack, like you said, that's how many times I'm getting told no. But I'm still at it. So imagine how many times in the last 25 years, out of all of the beat pack, CDs, tapes that I've sent to artists to pitch them to use a track, how many times I got told no.
Wow.
To continuously do the same thing consistently and be persistent.
Right.
And be disciplined enough to continue to make and create music in hopes and believing and having enough faith to say somebody somewhere eventually is going to take one of these.
Right. And that's the belief within yourself. You know, like, you know, and I say believe because again, you believed in yourself, like you were and I love that you didn't take it personal.
Nah.
Because I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that can be one of the biggest lessons when it comes to like as an entrepreneur in itself. It doesn't even matter where as an entrepreneur, you have to learn not to take it personal.
Oh yeah. And again, just you know, to be completely transparent, have I taken things personal? Absolutely.
Right.
I've heard albums that come out that I didn't make and you're like, and it's not even like shade, it's more so of like if I don't make an album, I want it to be so fire that I'm like, all right, cool, I'm not even mad.
Okay.
But don't not have King Amadeus on the album, and then you release the album, and I'm listening to the production on your album, and I'm like, you kidding me, right?
Right.
Because then I'm in my feelings, right? I'm in my feelings so much, or we going straight to the studio. We're going straight to the studio, and I'm laying that feeling and that emotion down on these tracks. So whoever gets this batch and pick from this batch, yeah.
When did you start realizing because you mentioned earlier where like you feel like producers are not getting the flowers or the recognition, just the love in itself, like back then.
Yeah.
When did you started realizing this aspect of like the whole like producers being viewed in this way?
Technology.
Okay.
The moment there were no more cassette tapes and CDs, that took a turn. Because think about it, right? And I'm not sure, how old you guys are, right? But for me, that was the era that I grew up in.
Right.
I went to the Wiz. I went to FYE. You know what I'm saying? I went to go actually buy the tape or the CD. The first thing I did with purchasing, I remember going to buy Life After Death.
Right.
The first thing I did was open up the credits. I don't even want to hear nothing until I know who made what, until I know who produced what. That was exciting to see the artwork, to see all of the producers and singers and songwriters on it. The time that they took for the pictures that the artist took.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing to me.
Nah, that was. I remember.
That was amazing to me. And I feel like the labels really put time and energy into creating the best CD or cassette tape booklet possible to compete with the other creatives. They spent mad bread on just the booklet. So for me, when you got rid of the tape and the CD and took it off the shelves, and iTunes created, and I know I'm skipping a few platforms that were created where you no longer see the booklet to see who produced what.
Right.
People started not to care.
I can see that.
Right. So that's one side. The other aspect is technology, Pro Tools, Logic, all of those different things where now you don't even have to be in the studio no more.
No, you don't. I was just about to say that. Like, I just saw something like an app on Instagram.
You don't even have to be.
You just need to download it. And
that's it. Right? Where I used to go to Sony Studios, which is closed down now, which is crazy. I used to go to Hit Factory. I used to go to Daddy's house. And that's what it was as a producer. Yo, Fab, Jim Jones, G-Unit, Chris Brown, they're in such and such studio tonight for all week. Go pull up. Yo, he's in town, go pull up. So I will go to the studio, burn a bunch of CDs, go play the beats for Fab, go play the beats for Jim Jones, go play them. And then I want this one, I want that one. Mind you, the room is crazy. When I came up, because nobody else was trying to be a producer, like it wasn't a glorified thing to do.
Right.
My competition were my heroes. So I'm going to the studio, Kanye's over there, Justice over there, Buck Wilder's over there, Swiss is over there.
That's wild.
And I'm walking in the room, Swiss is in the other room with Fab, Timbaland is around the corner, Rodney Jerkins is over there in the A room working on joints from Michael Jackson. And this little kid comes walking in, skinny, big clothes, and they're like, you want to play first? And I'm like, yeah, I want to play first. Well, all of my heroes sitting right there.
That's crazy.
Press play, bro.
Right.
That's where I come from.
That's dope.
So imagine that moment. That's how I had to earn my stripes. Not sitting behind a keyboard, a computer, the internet. No, I had to go play music before or after the dudes who I said, these are why I do this. This y'all the reason why I do this. Fast forward, we're no longer in the studio with the artist. Send me a beat pack, bro. Send it to my engineer. Send it to my manager.
Right.
Email it to me. Send it to my phone. I'm hearing songs for the first time on classic albums when the world hears them. I'm not even part of the process. I'm not part of the mixing. I'm not part of you recording. I don't know what you said on it. I'm pressing play just like you're pressing play as a fan to all of the albums that I'm actually producing on.
That's crazy. That's dope.
So, I wouldn't say problem, but that's the challenge, right? Where now fast forward, we're in 2025. You can get your computer, you can get your iPhone, you can get an iPad, and now you can be a producer. And now everybody and their mama want to be a producer. You can be a producer. You can be, an artist. You can be a singer. You can be a dancer. You can be a influencer. You can be a podcaster because everything is accessible now, right? I got bread. Let me go just get this whole setup V-Henny got and get a cameraman and videographer and lights, and it's like, is that your passion though?
Right.
What's your why? Why are you doing this? You doing it just to have fame? You doing this for clout? You doing this for views? Like, why are you doing this? And it's the same thing with music producers. You want to be seen. You want to be on IG Live. You want, to drive what you see so-and-so drive. Like, that wasn't my intention when I first started doing this. Like, this is God-given.
Right.
I didn't know none of that stuff can come together with all of this. So, and again, there's no hate. Everybody has the right to do him or her.
Right.
Do what you do. But for me and for you and for those that care, it's legacy. Yes. My name is my name. Dr. Antoine Jamel Thompson Sr., professionally known as Amadeus. That name will forever, and it's not in a comparison to anybody. Right. Because there's bigger producers, but I'm not focused on others. I'm focused on my name, my brand, and the legacy that I've created, and what I would leave here if I was to leave this earth tomorrow. And that's for everybody that's tuned in, that's for you to think about. Yeah, you want to be a superstar. Yeah, you want to be an artist. You want to be whatever you want to be. But what's your why? Why do you want to do this? Do you want to make impact? Do you want to make change? Do you want to leave an imprint on the world when you leave here? Or is this just for, let me just get on real quick. Let me look cool. Let me be fly. Let me get money. Because that money that you thinking you're going to get, it ain't what it used to be.
No, it's true.
Especially if you're not willing to outwork me and V-Henny and those that really do this. You gotta be willing to outwork us. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
That's the key. And I'll say this: I never wanted to be the best.
Okay.
For what? The best? I don't gotta be the best. I gotta be the best me.
Right.
Me trying to be the best means that I'm worrying about you and what you're doing and trying to beat you. And I'm not trying to beat you. I'm trying to beat me.
Right. I agree.
Right, but if I outwork you, even though you're the best, you don't want none of this smoke.
I agree. I can relate.
Think about that.
I agree. It's not about the best. For me, I always tell everybody who works with me knows that I say this a lot. And it's like, it's not, I want to be great.
That's it.
And it's like, for me, you know, this is where I guess this is when I can be very hard on myself, when it's like, good is the enemy of great. I never want to be good. That's why I'm like, yo, we got to be great. We got to, you know, and it's not perfection, but just be great. And
great is whatever you view that as, not what others view it as. It's about what you view yourself and what greatness means to you.
Right. So I get it. So, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to understand, that you are in no competition with others. Like, you show the love, the respect, or whatever, right? But you are in no competition with others. You, if anything, your biggest competition is yourself.
Right.
And as cliche as it is truly, it's that's nothing but facts right there. And people don't tend to understand that. And then, like, again, if you don't understand or you don't know your why, you know, like, there's going to be, I look at it like this. It's not, there's always going to be struggles.
Always,
but you also have to look at it like, if you don't know your why, then for me, you don't have a long term. You know, and that's just for me. Like, and it's okay to question your why, because like you said, your why changed. It's okay to question, as long as you know what you started with.
Absolutely.
You know, and then things change. That's just life. Growth comes with change. You know, and growth is painful at times. So
Absolutely.
You know, so it's okay for things to change, but understand why you're starting off, why you're doing this.
Right.
You know, and I think we're both in a place now where we can see automatically, like, man, you clout chasing. Or like, okay, I can see the passion between the person. You know, like,
you can read through it. You can't hide that.
Right, you can't. It speaks. It's a particular energy.
Yes.
So I get, you know, I get it. You know, and unfortunately, I do, like, I would always say, like, producers, like, you guys are amazing. I had someone recently, and I was telling her, like, because she does engineer.
Okay, yeah. Which is an amazing role, by the way. Like,
that's what I was telling her.
Engineers. The glue. Like, shout out to all the engineers, whether it's recording engineers, mix engineers, engineers that work live, mix front of house, mix or the in-ear monitors or monitors.
Right.
Engineers play a very key point or part in creativity. So shout out to all the engineers out
there. And I was just, and I had to say, like, yo, I'm like, it's crazy that you can tell, like you said, you did your homework, right? Like, you've always showed the respect for others to do their homework or learn more. Like, if you want to grow in life, learn more, right? So it's like, again, like, certain artists don't even know the difference between an engineer and a producer. Like, they think it's one in the same, should I say. And it's like, you can be one in the same, yes.
Yeah.
But it's also two different entities.
Absolutely.
So it's like, if you want to be an artist or if you want to be this, learn it. You know, just, you know, I guess us trying to help others,
right, which we'll always do
within. But going back to, like, I know you mentioned that, I guess, like, within the last year or two, it's been a rough year for yourself, right? Emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? You mentioned how you spent Thanksgiving alone. So I want to know, how did that experience shape your perspective on solitude and self-reflection?
You know, just went through some personal changes in life, moved, relocated, you know, which caused me to spend a lot of time alone, but from a different lens. I'm used to traveling alone. When I go to Vegas, I'm alone. I'm on the road, I'm alone. I'm a popular loner is what I call it. Most people don't believe that. You know, you're so cool, you're so humble, you're so, you know, I know you got mad people, and it's like, yeah, but I choose to be by myself, and and that's by choice. So Thanksgiving this year, I've been doing therapy. I want to definitely mention that, because most men, you know, stay away from that, or if they do it, don't speak on it. So I want to, you know, speak on it to be a blessing to the other kings that's out there that are going through therapy or may want to do therapy and may feel like it's not the coolest thing to do, or they feel less than of a man. It's like, I know a lot of people respect what I do musically and creatively, but personally, you know, I've been going through a lot, and I, you know, decided to give therapy a try, and it has been amazing. I'm a brand new person. I'm a brand new man. I'm a brand new being. I've changed my eating. If you've known me for a long time, I used to be, and I ain't afraid to say it, a lot bigger. Weight wise, you know, shed a lot, been in the gym, and I'm feeling incredible.
Beautiful.
And, it's about choices in life.
Right.
You got to decide, like, do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to grow? And like you said, it hurts to grow. Right. When as a little kid and as a baby, when them teeth are coming in, that thing hurt. When you're working out and you're growing your muscles, it hurts. But when it grows in,
right,
it looks how you want it to look. So thank you for bringing that up. That Thanksgiving, sometimes you force yourself to be with people that genuinely don't care about you or care for you. And I'm just generally speaking.
Okay.
You sacrifice yourself and your well-being and your mental and your health and your mind to appease others.
Right.
Even if it's just being in a specific place or a location or an event or whatever it is. And with me going through therapy and learning about myself and learning how to, it's a word I'm looking for. Damn, I can't think of the word, but kind of like draw the line of what you will allow, and boundaries. Thank you.
Yeah.
Boundaries. That's how you know it's something good and powerful, because we don't never forget what we want to say or can't think of what we want to say.
Right.
And we want to say that doesn't come out, because that's how powerful it is. But I'm glad these words are, because I've never had this issue before. That's how I know that needs to be said. Boundaries of what you should allow and what you shouldn't.
Right.
And people was asking me, hey, come over here, come over there, come over here. And I was like, staying home. And even my therapist, who was amazing, was a little concerned.
Okay.
She's like, you sure? I said, yeah. I think I got this. She's like, well, I know it's Thanksgiving, but if you need me, I'll be on speed dial for you.
Okay.
It's like, all right, cool. I went and got all of my favorite things.
Okay.
Food-wise.
Nice.
Vegan mac and cheese. I had all, I ain't gonna go through all that, but I got everything that I needed. Football was on all day. And I sat there alone. I was happy. I was at peace. I had a phenomenal day. Not one time did I shed a tear. Not one time did I feel like, why am I here? Or like, why did I do this? It was amazing. And moving forward, I just learned, like, yo, don't allow people to make you do what you don't want to do. Don't feel like you have to do something or have to be with people, regardless of who they are. I don't care who they are.
Right.
You have a choice to decide on where you want to be and where you don't want to be. Not everybody deserves your presence.
I love that.
Straight up.
I love that.
So a lot of people are shocked and like, really, you? And I'm like, me. And you'd be surprised of how many people struggle with the same thing.
Right.
Or have gone through what I've went through, and that's why I'm so vocal about it too.
Right.
Like, I don't want you to see all of the accolades and all of the street sign and the doctorate and all of this cool stuff. No, I want you to hear the challenges. I want you to hear the vulnerable moments too.
Right.
That I go through too. That people that you admire and respect, we struggle too. We all human beings at the end of the day.
No, absolutely, absolutely. It's crazy, right? Because Thanksgiving last year, or this year that just passed, should I say? I also was alone. And I love, that's why I say it's beautiful. I fully understand. Like going through life, right? Life is life, so I was in a place, in a crossroad where it's like, all right, I might move to Atlanta. So I went to Atlanta by myself. Nobody was out there.
Wow.
And I stood, and it was Thanksgiving, and my mom was like, "Come out here, come back." And I was like, "No."
Wow, so you was in Atlanta. You was in a whole other city.
The whole state. Yeah, I was in Atlanta, and I was just. I remember Valentine's. I remember Thanksgiving Day. I was just there, and it's like, so I understand where it was just like, it was beautiful, but it was also painful, right? But it was just like, I remember watching TV, and I was just chilling, and I was like, damn, I haven't done this. And you forget yourself. Yeah. So like that moment of solitude reminded me, like, it's like, crazy. Not to sound cocky, but it was like, bitch, you know who you are.
Absolutely.
And it's like, excuse the language and everything.
Straight up.
It was just like, for me, it was just like, yo, that solitude made me realize, like, did you not realize all the sacrifices you've done? Not only that, now it's time for you to grow.
Absolutely.
You cannot repeat cycles. I was just so many things in my head, and I'm here by myself, Crazy. And again, Phenomenal. I had my mom was like, just come. And I was like, no, I had to tell her, like, I want to do this. I need to do this. Wow. I was like, and I ended up coming back to New York. But I was like, for me, I was like, God put me here for a reason.
That's so
I had
dope,
to go to Atlanta.
That's so dope.
Be there by myself with no family, no friends, and just dug it out.
That's amazing.
So I get it. It's and more power to you, especially, like you mentioned, and I think I do agree, where not so many men are able to share that because it's like demasculating or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'm like, that's low. For me, that's low frequency.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't bring that low vibration over here.
Yeah.
I embrace when a man can actually be in tune with who he is, with his emotions, and continue growing with it.
It's the only way to grow, man. It's like the mental, the emotions, and the things that you go through that don't feel good. You don't want to stay there.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to stay there. I don't want to keep feeling that. I want to learn how to deal with that. I want to learn how to heal from whatever these things that have caused trauma in my life. We only get one chance at living, man. And I want to live to the best of my ability. And you can't live, I don't care what no one says, you can't live with just holding on to all of these things that do you harm. Right. And you can't deal with it on your own either. You don't have the capacity to do it. There's steps and things that a professional can share and educate you on how to deal with it. Right. Which is why therapy exists.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and shout out to my sister, because my sister is the reason that I actually did it. There was a program for Black men.
Okay.
That, offered 8 therapy sessions for free.
That's dope.
And it was the greatest blessing ever. And the therapist was a female, and she was so incredible. I think it was called Black Men Heal. And I did it, and I'm going to keep her and continue to do the work, because it's a continuing thing. It's not something you just do for a little bit and just stop. There's always work that can be done on yourself. So for those men that's out there, man, don't feel like you're less than a man. Actually, it makes you stronger. It makes you better for yourself. If you have family, if you have children, for your spouse, it makes you bigger. It makes you stronger. It makes you better. I'm a witness of that.
I agree. I definitely agree. And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Again, it's not easy overcoming certain challenges, especially personal. And just having that growth. Again, it's painful, but you are where you're at. You understand? Like you said, you're in a better space. Emotion, mind, body, and soul.
Amen.
And I think, again, it's just, for me, people don't realize, like, I know I say it a lot, but it's a beautiful process, bro, because it's like, sometimes you have to take in the ugly and just understand it, and and find the beauty in it, because we're so focused on trying to make everything so pretty and this and that, like this whole perception. And it's like, no, you are here because of the ugly. We are here because of the struggles, the sacrifices, this and that, the self-doubts, etc. So, and it's like, again, the more I keep learning within myself and life, I'm learning to have gratitude. And that's the word I was looking for. It's gratitude.
Powerful.
Having the gratitude.
Powerful.
And it's so, I love it. I love where you're at right now.
Thank you.
Even your energy and everything says a lot. So, super powerful, inspiring. I want to know, how important do you think support system are in one's journey towards healing and achieving personal goals? What roles have they played in your own experience?
I feel like support is very important, but I would say not to depend on support.
Okay, like that.
Sometimes you have to take this journey alone.
Right.
So again, I love support. I think having support is a beautiful thing. But again, I feel like it's very important to not be dependent upon support, because what if you don't get the support? Do you not go through what you need to go through to make change for yourself because you don't have people in the background cheering you on? Like, forget having people in the background cheering you on.
Right.
You got to want to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that. You know what I mean? And what was the other part of your question? I'm sorry.
Like, what was your personal experience with that?
Yeah. Again, I'm kind of a popular loner, so I'm kind of the one where I don't really talk much about it.
Okay.
If you know me, to kind of sense and feel if I'm not okay. I try, for years I've tried to mask it. But again, if you know me, but it's like, why go to people for the answers? Was always been my thing. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to get real answers to change where I'm at and what I'm feeling. Okay. If anything, it just allows you to be in my business. And I'm not saying it's the correct way to think, but it's like, if you're not a professional, if you're not trained in this area, Or maybe from a spiritual sense, right? Where I can trust you to even share. I could just keep it to myself, go to God with it, or go to those, or go, like a therapist that I know is trained in this area that can genuinely help me, and not take the information that I'm sharing and run off with it and make a spectacle out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why, you got to be careful with that too. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do. But I'm sure you're good with reading people. So.
Yeah.
I feel like especially in our field, like again, we're in the music industry. Music is energy.
Yeah.
So
but the thing is, though.
Go ahead.
You can read someone and they can give you good vibes and good energy. But can you trust them with that information?
I see what you're saying.
The information could be so good that even though you're amazing and
I get that.
Like to have information, it's like knowing something happened.
No, I get that.
And no one else knows, but you know. And it's like,
right. Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So you just gotta be careful, man. Like
you definitely do.
You gotta be careful, even with the good energy that a person can give you. Like now you have information.
That's true.
So now it depends on loyalty. Now it's about not energy, it's about loyalty now. Loyalty and what you're gonna do with this information you have now. Because you can now share it. You can be the one to break the news. You can be the one to be like, yo, I know V-Henny, yo, Amadeus, yo, they.
No,
so
I get
nah,
that.
man, I just rather keep it to myself, man. If I know you can't, if I know you ain't got the remedy, if I know for a fact you don't have the remedy,
right,
I'm keeping it to myself.
I agree. Yeah.
Just a different perspective.
No. I see. I wasn't looking at it as that way. And I agree with you. Like, yeah, you can definitely have good energy. That doesn't mean I'm gonna trust you. See, for me, trust, you have to earn that.
Because what if we fall out?
Right.
See, I've been thinking about all this. What if we fall out? What if we ain't cool no more? And you know this information.
And look at so look at
I'm cool, bro.
But look at the internet right now where people fall out and they're just here's the pen and the paper, like here's your like all the information.
Yeah, I remember real brief, and I'm off this. I remember something going on and me getting out of character and responding to this. But I was responding to it in a voice note.
Okay.
So I kept recording the voice note. I was going crazy, yelling, ah. I was like, nah, I don't want to say it like that. Again, that ain't really me. So just forget it. And then to think about when I thought about it, bro, I was about to do the worst thing possible.
Wow.
Because it's recorded.
Right.
So you can take that and be like, ha.
Right.
King Amadeus. Dr. Amadeus.
Right.
Bronx Walk of Fame. Go and speak to the kids, Amadeus.
Right.
I'm human. I'm vulnerable. But in that moment, I was like, bro, I said to myself, I'm so proud of you for recognizing you weren't you and you was out of character and not sending that, because that they could have used that against you and it would have been detrimental.
That's good. That takes a lot of willpower.
You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, because especially voice.
You have.
Yo. I feel like nowadays you could get away with the whole AI thing.
Yeah.
But that's recent now. But it's like, imagine you would have put that out there. Yikes.
It'd have been on the internet right now.
Definitely going viral.
So be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Sometimes it's cool to just turn the other cheek. What would Jesus do?
Yeah.
They call you soft. They say this and this and that. Jesus was never soft. Jesus is the greatest of all time. Like the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to just turn the cheek, man.
No, that's a fact.
You feel me?
That's a fact. Lastly, I want to know, when was the last time you did something for the first time?
On my birthday. The spa joint. The spa joint. 44 years old. So many different things I could have did. Mad random. I bought a day pass. I pulled up at like 9 a.m. I think I left at like after 7 p.m.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And just did a bunch of nothing, a bunch of saunas, and it was cool. And I was like, I want to do something different.
Okay.
Than the norm. I don't want no parties. I don't want no clubs. I don't want no gathering of the family. I ain't really want none of that. I just wanted to just chill dolo. See, like just wanted to be solo, man. And that's what I did. Anything else? I think that's the thing. I don't think I can really think of at the moment.
You got it. I think that's super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations on this.
But thank you, man. This is an incredible conversation, man.
Thank you for your time. I think thank you for everything you've done. Like, again, like, you've been in this game for such a long time, and like, people might, like myself, that I look up to, the fact that you come from the Bronx, I may be wrong, but I feel like when you come from the Bronx, we're like, sometimes we have this, like you said, I just want to come out the hood. I want to get out, like I fully understand that, because that was my mindset, the fact of like, yo, there's got to be more to life than just this, and the fact that you're doing it, it's not that you've done it, you're still doing it. Yeah. It's inspiring. I look up to it, and it's, I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to see the next steps you're taking moving forward towards your growth. I just look forward to it. And I just want to say again, you've always inspired me. I've always looked up to you.
Love, appreciate you.
Like, it's just, and thank you for putting on for the Bronx, Man. Like, I don't care what anybody will say, whatever, but you put on for the Bronx, and it says it speaks volume right there. And this is for the Bronx.
Man, big Bronx energy, you heard?
Big
Bronx energy. V-Henny, King Amadeus, man, you got me out.
Yeah, man. Where can we find you? All that good stuff.
Instagram, Amadeus PBM, AMADEUS PBM on IG. My website is IamKingAmadeus.com. Definitely the two places that you can reach me at. I do check all my DMs. Most people don't really check. I check all my DMs. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't want to lose any opportunity that may come my way. You know what I mean? I give love to the fans. I show love. But again, Amadeus PBM on Instagram. IamKingAmadeus.com is the website.
And there's no reason why you shouldn't be following him. All his information will be in the description box below. All you got to do is click on it. You already know love is love. It's V-Henny, the Artistry Show. And we out. Rock out with your cocks out. Jam out with your clam out. Bow.
Big Bronx.